Scream 7 is finally here, and whoa boy, it is really something. But before I dive in, I will be doing spoilers, but I will keep those for the back half of the video, but I'll give you all a heads up. Scream 6 was pretty underwhelming, but I still genuinely had a really good time watching it. And for all the dumb stuff in that film, it did have some really interesting ideas and great suspense scenes. However, Scream 7 sadly is far and away the worst in the film series thus far. Oddly enough, the biggest issue with Scream 7 is just the writing, especially considering original screenwriter Kevin Williamson is in the director's chair this time around. However, the narrative is just so severely underwritten, with new characters that lack any spark or lasting impact. Like, seriously, close your eyes and try to recall any new characters in this film. You can't, it's impossible. Now, think about Scream 2022. The characters that were killed off, like Wes and Liv, I mean, sure, they didn't have the most depth to them, but they still have personalities and I can still remember them. Not the case here, and I'm struggling to remember anybody outside of the core cast. Speaking of, maybe worse than that though, Chad and Mindy, two of arguably the best newer characters to come out of this film series, are just not well used here, like, at all. Like, it's so damn random that they just happen to be working for Gale as interns. This just comes out of nowhere, and all it is just a lazy way to get them in the film. And I'm sorry, but you're going to be hearing lazy a lot. Despite this, they really don't have anything fun or interesting to do. Like, Mindy starts to queue up the kind of rules thing, but it never really goes anywhere. Like, it just doesn't have that, like, spark and personality of the other two films. I think that's just a big reoccurring thing with this movie. Random and dumb stuff happen to move the plot forward. So every Scream has a central theme that echoes some kind of real-world fandom. This thesis is used to give depth to the otherwise fun and gratuitous slasher elements. And this time around, it's AI and nostalgia. I'm sorry, that's just so lazy, and I hate it so much. Let's get into spoilers. The movie goes above and beyond with the mystery of Stu and whether he's alive or dead. Like, I know in the previous film they kind of had a fun little mention, but this movie really runs with that idea, and it gets so obnoxious. For those of you not familiar, Scream 3 originally was going to have Stu be very much alive and in charge of a cult of killers. If this sounds familiar to you, Kevin Williamson repurposed this for the show following. The studio, however, got cold feet after Columbine, and the idea was completely reworked. But this is something that Craven himself wanted to explore, so I thought maybe that this storyline was really going to go there. And I really thought this when, in one of the most hilarious scenes in the Scream series, unintentionally so, Gale just randomly shows up and plows over some random guy in a ghost face mask that was moments earlier terrorizing Sydney and her family. And again, he's a total random guy. We don't know him. We learn a little bit about him like later on, but yeah. So this got me really excited because I thought, oh, okay, so if it's this random guy, maybe they are doing this cult of Ghostface thing, which I think, if done correctly, could be really interesting. It certainly would be better than what we fucking got. Okay, so the killers are like two random ass characters that have very little screen time. Probably the least amount of screen time of any Scream killer. Like, it's baffling. And like, the motivation makes absolutely no sense. I just hate it so much. Like, y'all complain about Roman being a lame killer in part 3, but Jesus, this is so much worse. That's the thing. Nothing is properly set up and executed in this movie. So nothing feels satisfying. Like, there's no really good payoff. Like, it's so many baffling choices from Williamson, who, again, you know, the original Scream movie is a classic. Like, him and Craven just absolutely created something very special. So the other big thing with me is, like, Sydney and her characterization in this, like, we chart her arc as a survivor, and she seems very emotionally mature, and that doesn't lend me to believe that she would never tell her daughter anything about her past. Like, she even says, well, read my book or watch the movies. And that is such a shitty, out-of-pocket thing to say. Obviously, she realizes that was like a shitty thing to say, but like, I just don't feel like that is the Sydney that I have come to know. Again, it's random stuff, so they can set up this lazy mother-daughter conflict plot that we've seen before. It's just overdone. I fucking hate it. I want to be fair, and I want to say some things that I did enjoy about the movie. Matthew Lillard, of course, is amazing, and one of the coolest things was I actually got to interview Matthew Lillard, and it was awesome, of course. But, you know, even though this is a bad movie, I'm glad he got paid. It seemed like he was having a really fun time, so hell yes, good for him. The other cameos were dumb as hell, but I still enjoyed seeing them, like Laurie Metcalf. The movie is extremely well shot, and I love the usage of the Scream 96 score. And of course, Red Right Hand is back again. Neve Campbell is always great, and despite her character feeling off, like, she is still a really good actress. And yeah, no notes on that, but I don't know. Scream 7 was just really bad. I mean, it had such a crazy production with a ton of rewrites, and you can really tell with this very half-baked mishmash that frankly doesn't even feel like a Scream movie. So I hope you all enjoyed that review. I'm also going to post a video that my friend and I made just after seeing the advanced screening. You know, that's a little bit more of like a basic kind of review, but I did it with a friend of mine who also has a YouTube channel, so it's pretty fun. And thank you for hanging out with me, and please consider liking, subscribing, all that good stuff, and I will see y'all in the next video.